So this is the Cisnet CCNA Class Lab number 1. The exam series is 200-301, which is the new exam implemented from 2020 onwards. So the first thing here we are going to do in the Router Basics lab, we are going to understand 3 modes in the Cisco router or in the iOS, which is the user mode. You will have the greater than sign here, and when you put the enable command, you will see the enable mode, which has a pound symbol or the hash tag. Then when you put the config T, you will be prompt to config mode. So here you can do the configurations. Then there are other modes as well, something like interface mode. Then you will have router mode. So when we go along with this all other labs, we will look into those special modes. So here, first thing, we are going to get a 2621 router, and if you want to get into this router, or if you want to configure this router, you have to have a console, or otherwise you have to console in. So in order to do that, we have to have a laptop or a PC with the console cable. So let's take a console cable here, and in the router, put it into the console mode, console port, then connect to RS-232, right? Then you can access the CLI, or we call command line interface. So let's go here, desktop, then you can go to the terminal, and you will be prompt to the router's terminal here. Okay, so this router doesn't have any kind of a configuration because it's a brand new router. So it will prompt you to, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog. So in this case, if you say yes, it will ask you multiple questions which you don't know how to answer. So the best way is write no. So when you say no and hit a couple of enter or the return key, then you will be prompted to router's user mode, which is here. You can see the router's user mode. This is the first mode you will get. So here what you can do is you can use the question mark like shown in your tutorial to see the available commands. So you can put the question mark. Here there are limited commands available. So one of the command we can use here, show running system information. So show command we can use to see the running system information. So let me put that show. Then what will happen if you hit enter? It says incomplete command. That means what? You have to use another keyword to see the system information. So let's see that show. Then when you put the question mark again, you will see at the bottom the version, system hardware and software information. So you can see show VERSION. Then you can see the hardware and the software information of this router. So for instance, let's say this is a 2600 series router. It's running the 12.2 iOS, and then you have here, it has the image, which is the operating system, which is a bin file in the flash, and also you will see here you have 32 kilobytes of non-volatile memory, NVRAM, and also you have the ATA or the compact flash, which is flash memory. Okay, so you can see the configuration register here, set it to 0x2102 by default. So we will talk about these things when we do the password reset. Okay, so the next one, you can go to the enable mode. Before you go to enable mode, why you use this user mode? For instance, if you want to buy a router, if you want to see the hardware information, you don't want to go to the privilege mode, you can just console in and see the show version, and you can see the information which is in the router hardware and the software. So let's go to the next mode, which is the enable mode. So we have to say enable. Some of the people, they call it as privilege mode also. In here also you can use the question mark if you want to see all the commands, right? So then the next one is we can set the clock here. So you can see here clock set, then you have the some kind of a sequence of the time in the 24 hours manner, and then you will have the date and the month and the year. So let's set that. So we can say clock set, then 10 let's say 001 January 2020, and that's it. So if it doesn't return any kind of error message, that means the command has been taken. Okay, so if it is showing some kind of error message, which means it has some kind of a problem. For instance, if you put like this, so it will show you here there is a issue, which is the year and the month is adjacent, or it is combined together. So the iOS doesn't understand. So you have to be careful when you write the commands. You have to have the right order. So let's say clock set, then 10 let's say 10/02/1 January 2020. Okay, so the next one, so we set the clock when we get the router. Then the second thing what we do, we go to the config T, which is the global configuration mode. You can see here. Then you will have multiple routers in your environment, so you have to give them names. Otherwise, when you telnet or when you remotely log in, you won't see the differences between them. So the best way is we can give host name Toronto. Okay, so you can see here the router name has been changed to Toronto, right? So the next one, we can put a banner. Banners are MOTD, or the message of the day, or the login banners you can give. Here we have a message of the day banner, MOTD. So let's put the banner MOTD, then space, then the $, Cisnet CCNA students. Okay, only. So then we can put the delimiting character, which is the $, and hit enter. The commands taken. Now next one, we can see what interfaces are available in this router. So right now we are in the global configuration mode. So we can put do show IP interface brief. Okay, so it will show you the fast Ethernet 00 and fast Ethernet 01 are two interfaces associated with this router. So let's configure the IP address for this interface. Interface FA00 IP address. So 10.1.1.1, then 255.245.245.0, then no shutdown. So we will wake up the interface by saying no shutdown. Then what you have to do is you have to save all these configurations. So how do you do that? You have to go to the privilege mode, end. So you can go to the privilege mode. When you say end, it will prompt you to the privilege mode. So you have to say copy running configuration to startup configuration. Hit enter. It will ask you a file name. Don't give a file name. That's all. Okay, so this is the end of the lab number 1. So please try to practice this one a couple of more time, then you can do the other labs. Thank you.